right. Hello. Welcome to Gallifreyan Gatherings.
Oh.
We're talking about Rogue. I'm Scott. I'm the classic Doctor Who fan, and I've watched all of New Who as well. And over there's Josh. Josh, introduce yourself for those who may
Hi.
not have heard you before.
Hello, I am the Josh. I am New Who. I watched New Who before Scott watched New Who.
This is true. Alex.
And I'm Alex. I'm new Who. In fact, this is my first Who.
Yeah.
No, you watched several episodes before this.
What, 6 episodes in now? He's never seen a full episode before this season, Josh.
That's correct. Yeah, I was going to say that we need to qualify that as I've never seen a complete episode before this season.
Before Space Babies. That was your first episode.
Space Babies was the first episode I saw from start to finish.
I'm sorry.
Yikes.
Well, everybody's got to start somewhere. I'm here to be the audience surrogate.
That is true.
You can't make that joke when we just talked about Space Babies. You can't make that fucking joke.
Oh, I thought that was going to go under the radar.
No, it fucking wasn't.
So, we
can't do that anymore. That's illegal.
Episode 6, Rogue.
No, that's just subordinate.
So, we do get a cold open with Barton and Lord Galpin.
Yes.
They're walking through the grounds, and Galpin accuses Barton of being a rake and a cad for dishonoring his sister. And Barton has a lovely clapback about all the different times he's dishonored her. And Barton asks him to challenge him to a duel. And Galpin drops his facade, and Galpin electrocutes and takes Barton's body? I mean, it leaves the body there. It kind of takes the
what I interpreted this as was the lightning electrocution things were like a special effect, and like the what are they called? The colders.
Yeah, but we can't describe what they are yet.
We'll get to them.
Otherwise, it's going to ruin my joke.
It felt like they take on that person, but they leave the body behind, so it's like they steal their essence.
Yeah.
Yeah, their soul.
So, leave them desiccated.
That's a...
All right. So then we get the intro. I don't have an image of the intro, so we're going to skip right to... We go inside the manor with a group of people dancing. Ruby and the Doctor dancing.
That's Miss Ruby Sunday.
And we get the first of several Bridgerton references. We also get a mention of the psychic earrings, helping them to dance in a period-appropriate style. And we get a line from the Doctor, just don't set them to battle mode.
I can't be the only one who, at this moment, desperately wanted these earrings for any number of reasons.
You pervert.
How dare you?
So the Duchess walks over, and Ruby, I cannot talk tonight. Goodness. Ruby Soho. Ruby introduces herself as Lady Ruby Sunday of the Notting Hill Estate. And Ruby walks away. She kind of
fumbles over her words, too, in this moment, to be fair.
Indeed. She then walks away with the Duchess and gets a little feedback on the sonic earrings. The Doctor notices it's sonar interference. Also, we get a reference that the Doctor invented tarmac.
Yeah, you could take that as he invented tarmac, or that tarmac was invented around him, or as a result of things that he did. What did you say? This certain era got away from him?
Yeah. It bootstrapped because it was obviously invented before he invented it, so
yeah.
He bootstrapped it.
Does the sonic quality of the disruption that they get here come into play later in the episode?
Also, why did the color of the screwdriver change?
So in Doctor Who, there's a lot of blue is the future and red is the past. And they're kind of continuing that here with the sonic screwdriver. It'll be blue in the future, red in the past, and then probably blue in current times. That's how the time vortex was in the 10th Doctor and 11th Doctor eras. And then the 11th Doctor bow tie did that. And Susan Twist's character has also done that, except for this episode.
I'm okay.
I guess I've never caught that before.
So you literally mean that when we see things with a color red, it's usually a past item?
Yes. Oh, the episode is usually set in the past when the Doctor's wearing red, or when he's got something red about him, or in this case, the Sonic.
Because I thought the sonic screwdriver in this episode was blue.
No. In fact, at this point, the
Well,
Doctor
when
brings
he's
out
like-
a red
Okay,
Sonic,
okay.
which I will conveniently
Oh.
zoom in.
That doesn't look like the sonic screwdriver we've seen up to this point.
Because the one that we've
Yeah.
seen is blue.
It flips, like it rotates out.
It
Wasn't-
rotates and it flips, and then it's TV remote.
Wasn't it blue in episode 2? The Maestro?
Probably, but I don't think that they had realized that they were going to have two different sonic screwdrivers at that point. Would be my guess.
Two different. So it's not era specific. It's literally like a binary thing. Like there's not like 7 or 8 different styles. Like, oh, now this week it looks like this. Now this week it looks like that.
It's possible that they could do that, but as it stands right now, I think they just have one for the future, one for the past. So,
Or they just literally forgot.
yeah. So he scans, and it points him towards Jonathan Groff's character.
Easily
waiting
one
for
of
him.
easily one of the best characters we've seen all season.
Yeah, and that's why something happens.
We'll get to him in a little bit, because I have words about him.
Why?
So do I.
What?
Not necessarily bad words, not necessarily good words either.
I feel like we're gonna have some diverging opinions here.
I finally have my theory.
Oh, okay.
I will
Now
state.
I'm gonna be the odd man out. Okay, all right.
I will
let's go.
state, I really liked his character, but I have other words. So
All right, we're gonna get to it. Let's go.
we cut back to Ruby and the Duchess. They're talking, and Lord Barton appears.
Don't get too close.
That guy.
Bark, bark, bark.
And he compliments Ruby, and Ruby doesn't like it. You should learn
because
to be
he's a
admired in
jackass.
silence, he says.
What an asshole.
Which is, a very awful thing to say. She snaps back, if you spoke to me and the girls like that on a Friday night at the spinning wheel, we'd rip you a new one. And calls him
Yeah,
Lord
he-
Stilton.
He literally treats her like you should act like your art. You know, silent, to be judged, hung up on the wall, and forgotten. Like, just the amount of misogyny in this one exchange is just palpable.
Oh, absolutely. Well, that's the
I
time
think-
period as well.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think it's meant
Yeah.
to be for the time.
Okay, judge things by their time. I still don't give a shit. That's really fucked up.
We're not supposed to
We're
like
not.
it.
Yeah, no, we're not. We're
Oh,
not
obviously.
defending it.
I didn't say
But-
you were. I didn't say
Oh
you were.
God!
I did like that the Duchess caught on to Ruby's calling him Lord Stilton because Stilton's a very difficult cheese.
I didn't catch that. I actually needed the explanation. That was kind of I'm one of those people that I find it when you bomb a joke and then you explain the joke, it makes it funny again. Like it comes full circle. So that joke being explained to me was totally worthwhile for me. I like that.
We're like, oh God, I love cheese.
And we get our,
I didn't catch the reference, and I knew the minute I saw this and we paid any amount of attention to it that I was like, all right, well, here's where Scott's gonna go to town. So let's.
what
hear
a
it.
twist!
What a twist!
Except she's wearing blue. Wearing blue, and that's the first time in the past that Susan Twist has worn blue. What does it mean? Probably nothing.
It means it was the future for this portion.
Or that she
But
was from the
now-
future and went to the past.
But now we've got Ruby's fully alarmed by this. Who is this?
We find out at the end.
This
of
is the Duchess's
episode.
mother.
Well,
That's the second mother character she's played.
But the fact that Ruby's at full alarm status is noteworthy to me.
Yes. And Ruby's looking for her mother, but I think now tinfoil hat.
Oh my
I
god!
think-
She's had her mother.
I think that is a red herring. I don't think that Susan Twist's character is Ruby's mother. And
No,
we'll
'cause
we'll
don't
get
we-
to that at
don't
the
we-
end.
Yeah, don't we get some other accusations of her species later?
No, we get the trailer for the next episode, which we'll talk a
I
little about.
Is it me or Josh? Do you watch the trailers for the next episode? I literally turn the episode off.
I
don't-
I watch them.
Do
I
you?
watch them. I will always watch
Should I
them.
watch that? Should like?
Yeah. Matter of
Okay.
fact, turn this podcast off. Go watch it.
No,
Look,
no, don't
no,
turn this podcast.
I'll-
Shut the
I
fuck
will
up.
play
back.
the look. I will play the trailer at the end. All right,
Okay. All right.
all right,
All right.
all right.
So, but don't we get at the end like she gets scanned and like the scan is like erroneous or something like that, where it's like for like a half second she's inferred to be something else, like non-human.
That was in the trailer.
Oh,
No. It was when. Damn it. Okay, go on.
All right. So
Because I didn't watch the damn trailer.
You watched
the-
the trailer.
the Duchess
didn't.
compliments Ruby for how she dealt with Barton, and we get introduced to Miss Emily Beckett, which I don't know if I have a picture of or not. Oh yeah, I do, right there. And she is kind of in an argument with Barton. The lady calls out for Lady Wallace and runs off, and Emily runs off in a huff from Barton. Barton follows, and then Ruby also follows. And I got some really good faces in the pictures this week.
I'm a duck.
So the doctor approaches the man, call him for now, as an orchestral cover of Billie Eilish's Bad Guy Plays, which is very, very Bridgerton-esque, from what I
Oh,
understand.
I didn't catch this, but I did catch the song later.
Yeah.
By Lady
Well,
Gaga.
the only reason I
By-
caught this
Yes.
was
Yeah,
because of
that
closed
was-
captioning.
Oh, I must have missed it.
I will always watch with captions on because it gives you some extra insights, and I'm hard of hearing. So why not?
You know, actually, I've been told that that's literally a millennial thing.
It's not surprising.
Apparently a good proportion of us, specifically millennial age, and this is like blame culture as far as I'm concerned, but apparently millennials almost always watch with closed captioning on or subtitles, and I'm no exception. I think it's because there is a good portion of the media that was produced while we were growing up that had that problem of, and everyone knows this, where you'll have a scene where everybody's whispering, and then you'll have action scenes that are insanely too loud. So you just turn on CC so you can understand everything and have everything at a decent volume. It's like our version of compensating.
That's
I-
only gotten worse.
And it's
The-
only
the-
yes,
the
exactly.
disparate- And not only that, but TV shows have gotten darker to where you can't fucking see anything either.
So literally, this is where I've
This
had
might
this
get off my
discussion.
lawn moment.
No, I'm totally get off my lawn too, because I'm not that much younger than you. But I have had this argument on this channel before, where I just want to adjust the gamma in my video games. Stop doing this. Stop doing this where like if I can't see your jump scare, it's also not effective.
So
I
just
watched
give me the
subtitles
ability to-
because I watched foreign films as a child.
I did that too. So anyway,
sure.
doctor approaches this
And then blew my
man,
eardrums out.
tries to flirt with him and find out about who he is. The man kind of
Boy,
brushes
is
him
he a
off.
thirsty bitch in this.
Yeah,
Okay,
well-
the doctor or our other character.
Doctor.
Listen,
is
The Dr. Fox.
thirsty.
This is all I gotta say.
All I'm saying, like, well, the Doctor is exuding confidence. He's full on. I'll just say role modeling.
Just look at that face, though.
He's charming as fuck, man.
Just look at it.
Sorry, but in the couple scenes from now where he's just air thrusting in front of him, he's like, yeah, you like this?
We'll get to that. So
he's thirsty.
we
And I
find
want
out
it.
that his name is Rogue, and we get a fun dialogue between them. Oh,
His
just the
pseudonym-
Doctor? Just
his
Rogue?
pseudonym is Rogue. Yeah, exactly. So they're exchanging pseudonyms.
So Rogue asks the Doctor outside and leaves, and the Doctor follows. We cut to the Duchess following Lady Wallace, and she insults Wallace, stating that she wore the same outfit last season. Wallace goes off in a huff, and the Duchess sees a housekeeper outside, and Duchess does not like that. So she goes up to the housekeeper, and the housekeeper says she made a mistake being a housekeeper and insults the Duchess. And we get our first look at the true form of the enemy of the week.
Okay, now, Alex, did you have the same inner monologue as I did when this part came along? Because all I heard was, "Yeah, I'm a birdie too."
I don't get the reference. Explain.
Okay. That is so fucking apropos. I completely did too. Yes, I'm a birdie too. So this is gonna be for our first patrons. We're gonna give you the watch through of the Christmas special and Kung Pao Into the Fist.
Are we doing the Christmas special?
Oh,
again?
we'll redo it when we get a Patreon goal for it. We'll redo it. I'm committing to that right now. But
What's the goal?
we're gonna define that later.
$10.
Stay tuned. We're gonna talk about it and join our socials. But
Oh god damn.
Scott has not seen Kung Pao Into the Fist. That is a reference that I'm a birdie too is a reference to Kung Pao Into the Fist. We will eventually get there in our reviews. Stay tuned. It's going to be a blast. We're having so much fun already. Let's get back to our current episode.
So, yeah, we find out that they're bird people.
Goddamn.
And
They're bird people. Is
She's-
this a thing that's happened in Who history? That's how I'm going to refer to it now. I love
there
that
have been a
idea.
lot of animal or creatures, not necessarily enemies.
History?
History?
you-
Okay.
You have the fish vampires. You have the
Fish vampires.
who are the rhino people?
I don't
the
know. You have to
Jadoon.
tell me.
The Jadoon. We had the Jadoon.
They're
There were the
rhino
cat-
people.
There were a lot of cat people. There were the dog people in Flux.
Oh man,
So, yeah.
the show's all about furries.
Yeah, there's a lot of
So it's not necessarily that the what were they called? The Calder
shoulders.
Childers. They're
Do it
not a
without
direct
touching your
reference to a previous Who villain. They're their own thing. Okay.
So, from what Russell T Davies said, there are no returning monsters this season. So,
Okay.
which I think is pretty cool. It also means that the Master's not coming back. Also means that the Ronnie's not coming back. So my Mrs. Flood theory may be out. I guess we'll find out next episode, which is already out as of the recording of this, and I really want to watch it. So I'll do that tomorrow.
I was gonna
Holy
say we
shit, it
may
is.
we may record this early.
I don't want spoilers, so I'm gonna have to stay off of Facebook until I watch it. Anyway,
I'm gonna watch it tonight, and the first time I see you, just boom.
I will
Don't do
eat your
these things.
face. Anyway,
To say, wait, the one thing that might piss Scott off.
I
so
finally found
she
it.
steals the Duchess's image. We cut to Barton and Emily talking in the library about how their love is forbidden and cannot be. Ruby is absolutely loving the drama, gets distracted, and
the
knocks over
line
some
that
books.
she says in that moment, like Okay, so spoilers for later on in this episode. This entire scene is staged.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's why it to me, the first time I saw this scene, I thought it was Hackney because of the line that the woman in blue says, like, "Oh, you consume me, sir," and she goes on from there, and it felt like it was a stage play, and then you find out that both of them are non-human.
Yes.
I this is the one part where I called that the woman in blue was not a human. Like, it was very, oh Romeo.
Exactly.
Bird
Yeah.
feed
Yeah,
me,
no,
oh,
it was
dear
for the
Romeo.
drama, but it felt like it was over the top.
Uh,
Definitely
On
Days
purpose.
of Our
that's-
Lives.
and this is literally the difference between last week's episode and this week's episode, where the writing felt hackneyed and over the top and inappropriate. Here it felt completely reasoned and on point. Like, I don't have really any writing critiques for this episode. Like,
I have one later on.
This is okay. I would love to hear it, because I might agree, but I don't have any off the top of my head. This is where I think, like, I feel like Russell T Davies last week versus Russell T Davies this week is totally different.
Well, he didn't write this episode. Someone else did.
Oh, I thought he was the writer and producer.
He is the showrunner. This is actually the first episode not to be penned by either a current or past showrunner since, I want to say, 2020 with The Haunting of Villa Diodati, a 13th Doctor episode. So it's been a long time since we've had an outside writer, and it was a breath of fresh air.
Yeah, this one did feel different.
This felt like a New Who, Doctor Who episode.
Yeah, it felt like a 10th Doctor episode, or even an 11th Doctor episode.
I'll give it 10.
And I have no context to reference it in that way, but this one didn't feel out of context for this Doctor, but it felt different enough and was interesting all the way through. This one rated really highly for me.
Yeah.
So, Ruby kind of busts in, and Barton runs off. Ruby apologizes to Emily. Emily's upset, and we get Bridgerton reference number 2. So they're going to hammer it home that this is a Bridgerton episode.
So what is the significance of that?
I can't remember if it was the director that directs Bridgerton also directed this episode, I think is how it went, and that's why they were so insistent on hammering home that this was a Bridgerton collab.
That seems really lame.
A little bit. But
I mean, hell,
it turned out a good
outfit,
episode,
let
so
alone.
Yeah, but why like beat us over the head with it? Because
So
it
you can
happens
tune in?
3 times, I think, right? 4? Why though? Like, I get it.
I count
like,
them.
Bridget, yeah, no, yeah, but what's the point in beating us over the head with it? Like, I know that they actually use it as a narrative thing, like, oh yeah, the TV signals, blah blah blah, but really,
it's a popular show right now. A lot of people are watching it, so I think they're trying to get some cross.
Is that not the worst way of making sure that your show is not timeless?
I would argue that shows that reference other shows, rather than being like timeless, they will evoke a nostalgia, and I think that maybe this will age that way, but who knows?
Okay.
We cut to Rogue. Oh, not yet. I scrolled down. So we cut to the Doctor and Rogue talking in the garden, and Rogue doesn't like how the Doctor keeps chattering. The Doctor flirts more and finds a shoe.
My God.
He finds this
Size 9
suspicious.
and a half.
And then he finds a leg, which is part of the Duchess's body, and he scans her. And the doctor immediately suspects Rogue, and Rogue says this is beyond the technology of Earth. They then insult and accuse each other, and we get a really cool shot of Rogue pulling a gun on the doctor. This felt very Jack Harkness, I'm just going to say.
I don't catch that reference.
I think
I do.
everyone that knows the Jack Harkness character felt the same way at this point. Josh, do you concur?
100%. You know how
Like-
much I love me some Jack.
So here's the thing. I think they wanted to bring Jack back, and well, they did. They tried with the 13th Doctor, and
I
that
was
was
gonna say,
right when he got hit with the scandals. And
yeah.
then they're like, no, you're not coming back. And so they're giving this guy. And I think it's a good replacement. So, we cut back to Ruby and Emily talking about Barton. Ruby inadvertently coins the terms cushy and okay to Emily.
Okay.
Ruby says she's not going to gossip about Emily and Barton. And Ruby tells Emily that they should go dancing to forget about him. We cut to Rogue, leading the doctor at gunpoint. Rogue says the doctor is a Chulder. The doctor recognizes the name as a shapeshifter. So that explains a little bit of what we've seen so far. Rogue calls him Doc. Now, Josh, you may not have gotten this, but I did. In the classic series, particularly with the first Doctor and Stephen Taylor, Stephen would call the Doctor Doc, and the Doctor hated it. Absolutely loathed it. And the Doctor does not like it here. Just a fun little callback.
For anybody watching at this point, Scott did not feel the need to call me out because there was no way in hell I would have known that reference.
Exactly.
Alex, I don't think you're going to understand this reference, but fuck you. No.
Yeah. Please tweet at Josh.
Does Josh
Joke's
even have
on
a Twitter
you.
at this point? We need, excuse me, on
There is
X.
There
No,
is no
fucking don't.
Twitter.
We need to get X's.
No.
X
We can
gonna
get
give
that
it
what
to
you-
ya?
Is that what you call them now? I
I don't
digress.
Oh man.
No,
So-
because they used to be called tweets,
This is
and X can be pronounced as sheet. So they're sheets.
Anyway, the Rogue,
Shut the fuck up.
we find out that Rogue is a bounty hunter.
Don't make me sheet you.
The Doctor thinks that that's pretty cool. The Doctor flirts some more. Rogue takes the Doctor to his ship
I stole that joke.
and calls the TARDIS a shed.
Well, the doctor offers to show him his ship first.
Yeah, well, mine's
And
bigger.
what is he? He's like, everybody's seen a shed or something like that.
Yeah.
Something like that.
This no, you should.
His ship feels very Star Trek, like Romulan to me.
Yeah, I thought he just stole one of the bird people's ships.
It could
Oh
be.
no,
That is
Definitely
a very,
There's
that's
a
a very
beak on
bird-like
it.
ship. And wings.
no, definitely not. He's in control of that vessel.
Well, yeah,
No.
but he definitely stole it.
Yeah, Rogue uncloaks
No.
his ship, and the Doctor and Rogue go
He's
inside.
No.
a real jack, okay?
Rogue is
He
a
stole
good
it.
man. Rogue is a good man.
Rogue has a theory about Rogue.
He's the Han Solo of Doctor Who.
Or
Why we love him.
somebody else.
We cut to the dance.
What?
The Duchess and Barton watch as Ruby and Emily dance with the others. The Duchess compliments Barton's costume. Barton said he wanted to be the Duchess next, but the Duchess wants to be Ruby Sunday. Foreshadowing.
Dun, 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 dun.
Dun, dun.
So we then cut back to we then cut back to Rogue's ship. I swear it's going to be a thing all night. So, the first look inside of Rogue's ship, we get that center console is
Reminiscent.
kind of. I think this one's octagonal, where the Doctor's is hexagonal. but it felt very TARDIS to me.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Like, can you really tell if it's octagonal from this point of view?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It has 8 sides.
Yeah,
You're lying. You're
8.
lying. You don't know.
Anyway,
Want to bet?
so the Doctor calls Rogues.
I was gonna say it was TARDIS. It doesn't really matter how many sides it is. It is very reminiscent of the interior of the TARDIS, except for this seems more spatially proportionate. Whereas, like, we'll find out here in a few moments when Rogue goes onto the TARDIS that the spatial abnormality blows his fucking mind.
Looks like it's daytime outside.
Daytime, nighttime.
No,
Is that an airlock?
Those are the lights within the airlock. Exactly.
Okay. It looked like a brick wall from far away.
No.
Anyway.
No.
So the Doctor
I'm the
calls
one
Rogues.
apologizing for this.
The Doctor calls Rogue ship a mess. The Doctor flirts some more. Rogue places some things on the floor. It's a trap.
It's a triangle.
It's a triform. And the Doctor can't move. We get a James Bond reference with the Bond, molecular bond.
I thought that was.
That was so dumb.
No, I thought it was great.
We find out that it is a transport gate.
No, it was funny as hell. This whole episode is, if you're gonna make 4 references to Bridgerton, the one reference to Bond was fantastic.
No, it was just so fucking corny. I was like, God damn it.
It was corny, but
Come on.
I chuckled at it.
Haven't you ever been corny when you're flirting? It happens.
I don't remember the last time I flirted.
Well, okay, we're not gonna get into that either. But if I
Patreon goal.
Patreon goal.
So,
but seriously, if you can't be corny while flirting, I don't have any ammunition.
we find it's a transport gate to an incinerator. So Rogue has sentenced the Doctor to death at this point. The Doctor tries to sonic it.
Is it weird, Scott, that he's American?
Jack Harkness was American, and I think they're just replacing his character.
Yeah.
Well, we haven't had any characters. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't think we've had any characters in this season that have an American accent, or what I would very naively consider to be a neutral accent.
No, he's the first this season, but yeah, I think they're using the Jack Harkness archetype with him, and Jack Harkness was American, so. And it conspiracy, but it could be that he is a version of Jack Harkness. Could be.
Or
You cut out.
said or somebody else.
Yeah, that's less likely.
I know it's less, but I want it to be.
Well, all I'm saying is, did him contributing or someone else actually contribute to?
What? No, we can't talk about it till after he does the kissy kiss.
Look, it's not River Song. River Song is a Stephen Moffat thing. She's not coming back.
It's River Song.
She's not coming back.
It's a reincarnation of River Song, goddammit.
No, they had their last date at that place that the 12th Doctor took River. That was it. That's the end.
No.
She ain't coming back.
Reincarnation. No, she's coming back as a man.
Anyway, I want to get through this scene because there's some very important stuff at the end of this scene. Incredibly cannon-shaking things at the end of this scene. So,
his name's River.
we find that the thing is deadlocked, which means that the sonic doesn't work on it. Rogue scans the device and find out it's a screwdriver, and we get a fun line. Convenient, because I've been wanting some new shelves over there. Not the first time that not them, but in general, that someone has thrown a joke about the sonic screwdriver.
Yeah.
The Doctor scans around, finds a set of Dungeons and Dragons dice.
No. These are just dice.
Yes,
We don't.
he says, "Did you get your name from Dungeons and Dragons?" And he says, "Roll for insight." It's D&D.
I get it, man. But
what?
You
D&D?
can have dice and not be a D&D nerd. Like, it doesn't have. It's not. Come on, man! Of all
Alex,
people, you're gonna give into this stereotype right now?
Yes.
But Alex, it's D&D.
It's D&D. Scott, give me that.
I don't have it on my soundboard right now.
Who needs a soundboard when you have a voice like this?
It's D&D.
D&D.
Anyway.
Come on. I thought this was great. I love this aspect.
Follow us 6 years ago.
So,
well, no, just the fact that we see a full like a single set of dice that represents what you would have as your starter as a beginning D&D player. I get the reference, but come the fuck on.
it's a set of gaming dice.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, all right. Come on.
Where's that?
The Doctor goes into a Scottish accent, which is his natural accent, by the way. And
is he actually Scottish?
he is the fourth Scottish actor to play the Doctor.
Oh, that's cool.
The 7th Doctor, the 10th Doctor, the 12th Doctor, and now the 15th.
Man, can I just say, especially as an American, I really love that part of European and honestly that whole culture. I wish I was better at recognizing the like Yorkshire, Sheffield. I love all of that. Like listening, like I've actually found like listening to the voice actor for the Clone Wars, like how a Kiwi accent varies too. I love all of this stuff. It's really lost a lot in our culture, I think, because we think of our accents as like the end all be all, and then there's British.
Well, and the thing with American accents is they go over such a broad space. You have your Midwestern accent, your Southern accent, your Texas accent. But then you have in Ireland, for example.
Like a Texan at that point, like I like
no,
I feel like Carolinas, Tennessee, Georgia, Florida would have a stronger accent than we do here. But like you're right. You know, you have the northern, the Midwestern, the southern.
So we have
Scott, can you go back?
We have like 5 or 6 accents in America. But if you go to something, say like Ireland, which is small, there's like a different accent for every town. It is insane. What do you want me to go back
Scott, to the dice real fast. While you guys are doing that.
They're like a red. Do you have a set like that, Josh?
No, I'm trying to determine if
they're orange.
Was it orange?
Where he is sitting at.
Oh yeah, they're definitely orange.
He is. I was trying to see if he rolled a nat 20 or not.
No, that's definitely not a 20. I want to say it's like a 14. Nope, that is a 2. Yeah, it's a 2.
2?
It's a 2.
It's a 2. Get fucked.
Now I know what happens later on.
So, the Doctor then plays "Can't Get You Out of My Head" by Kylie Minogue, which is
I think he actually just plays what's on the radio. Like he doesn't choose the song. I think he just hits play, right?
Yes, but here's the thing. This is not the first time Kylie Minogue has popped up in Doctor Who. In fact, I don't even think it's the second time, but the third time. In fact, Kylie Minogue started an episode of Doctor Who.
Really? Okay. So is there any other significance other than just like a cameo level significance?
No, just kind of a callback to the Space Titanic episode.
The Voyage of the Damned.
I thought this moment was fantastic, honestly.
I think it went on a little long, but I did like it overall.
Well, if you were gonna belabor a moment, have some good soundtracking to it. Yep, this is a good song.
So Rogue keeps turning the music off. The Doctor keeps turning it back on. Rogue tries to take the Sonic. The Doctor flirts while lip syncing. Boy, your lovin' is all I care to, or all I can think about, or something like that. Hitting the nail on the head a little bit. The Doctor pleads his case. We get the usage of the Sonic paper, the first time we've seen it in quite some time. And it just says, "You're hot." Does it say you're hot or that I'm hot? I don't get it. More flirting. Rogue mentions a new boss. That is the second mention we've had of a new boss. The first one was in the Star Beast special that Beep the Meep mentioned. That is going to be something that I think we're going to be seeing not this season, but in later seasons. I think that's going to come up more. He then scans the Doctor, which confirms that the Doctor is indeed a shapeshifter. Countdown to death.
Kind of reductive, right?
Nah, he would have just exploded.
Oh, I meant the scan.
And then, actually, holy shit. If he would have actually got, like, transported, you know how miserable that would have been? Because he would have, died, regenerated, died, regenerated, died, regenerated, died.
Nope. If you died during regeneration, you're dead. That was proven with the 11th Doctor.
Oh, yeah. You're right.
How was that proven with the 11th Doctor?
We'll get to that at some point.
No,
yeah, I forgot all about that.
There was an episode. It was the first episode of the season, and the Doctor died. And then the younger version of the Doctor was like, "So, what have you guys been up to?" And they're like, "We can't tell him about his death." And it was a whole season arc thing. It was fun.
So you're telling me that this Doctor is saying that I am the one and only, the most unique and wonderful me in all of the universe, in all of time and space, could genuinely mean that that's true.
Could. We don't know. So,
I mean,
the Doctor continues
the 10th
pleading.
Doctor is still alive.
No, the 10th Doctor is dead. The 14th Doctor is still alive. Get it right.
Same difference.
No, they're different doctors.
He tasted his teeth.
Also, Dr. 10-2 is still alive in a parallel universe as far as we know. And living with Rose Tyler. So, there's that. I digress. Again.
I was poking fun. Scott got mad.
And then we have Dr. Donna.
Yes, we also have the Dr. Donna. Anyway, countdown to death. Doctor continues pleading. He throws the Sonic paper at the scanner. We get images of the Doctor's past selves in order. 10, 13, 1. Richard E. Grant confirming that Scream of the Shalka is canon.
Yep.
Russell T. Davies, 19 years ago, Russell T. Davies said how much he hated the Shalka Doctor and hated Richard E. Grant's performance. 19 years later, we get an apology, and it's canonical. Then it's 4, War Doctor 12, 9, 11, Fugitive 14, 13, 6, 5, 8, 2, and 7.
Someone said, David Tennant wasn't coming back. Guess what? I saw his face.
Twice. His face was in there twice.
Exactly.
And we get the obligatory "I'm the Doctor" speech. The whole "I'm the Doctor, I'm a Time Lord from the planet Gallifrey in the constellation of Kasterborous," that whole feel. He didn't actually say that here, but it's what we've gotten in the past.
Where is it? Maybe I'll take you there someday.
Rogue is shocked, and we cut to Ruby and Emily. Ruby tries to get Emily.
Honestly, the way that scene ended was a little clunky.
Yeah.
Oh, holy crap.
Yeah, but like the way the music ends and then they have the oh wow was weird.
Ruby tries to get Emily to forget about Barton. Emily gets depressing.
Wilson, okay.
I don't remember. Oh yeah, the whole. Well, I suppose if I can't marry him, I'll find someone who's less rich, and we can share a grave. That sort of thing.
That was so weird. That was such a tell for me.
Yeah, but does like she go in the grave at the same time, or do they dig it?
It didn't matter to me at all.
Yeah,
I
matter.
thought again when I pointed it out earlier when she's like, "Oh, well, you consume me, sir." I was like, "Yeah, this is a ploy."
I wish they would have like.
This is a ploy.
I wish she would have like fucked up and like just the beak came out, but still looked human.
They then discover a body. Here's another another great Ruby face.
It was this big.
It was this big.
Then we cut back to Rogue and the Doctor. They're walking out of his ship and onto the TARDIS.
God,
and we get a couple of lines from
time.
Your Imagination from Willy Wonka. I loved that. That was fun.
And you'll see
a
world of pure
imagination.
Careful before we get demonetized.
That's fine. We got under 15 seconds.
that was bad enough. There's no
Yeah,
way
it's not
any
gonna
algorithm
content.
would ever know that was what we were trying to say.
Yeah, there's no key on my portion.
So, Rogue loves the TARDIS. We get the term dimensionally transcendental, which we have heard in the past, but not this season.
I think at like while we're outside the TARDIS, he goes, "Holy shit!" or something like that.
Something close, yeah.
I was like,
where was I?
It's so huge.
I lost my notes.
Oh yeah.
Your
spaceship got big dick energy. Check this shit out.
Mine has big hole energy. Wait,
what?
So we get another groan
Terrible.
from the TARDIS, which is like the fourth time it's happened since Starbeast. Not Starbeast. Wild Blue Yonder. The TARDIS groaned. The TARDIS, there's something wrong with the TARDIS. The Doctor is playing it off as if it's just, indigestion from a bounty hunter being on board. But this has happened several times this season.
That actually is like played up for a moment. Like it's not used to having a bounty hunter on board.
But we got it in the Devil's Cord. We got it in Space Babies, I think. And then we got it in Wild Blue Yonder.
It wants to be human again.
It was right after they were walking out of the TARDIS onto Abbey Road. They look back and the TARDIS groans. They think nothing of it and just walk off. It's been happening. I think we'll get to it at the end. I have a theory.
When he split it in half and cloned it?
So that's part of the theory. We'll get there. Okay. Where was I? Rolled down on my notes and I lost it again. Okay. The Doctor adjusts the trap so it's non-lethal, and it now transports things to a barren dimension. Random barren dimension, mind you. The Doctor asks Rogue who he lost, and Rogue is very vague, but he definitely lost someone. That's it. The Doctor tells Rogue how he lost everyone, and the Doctor says that Ruby is his best friend. I kind of feel like it's not necessarily true at the moment, and I think they had to have that line to kind of say, yeah, they're best friends, but you haven't really seen that on screen quite yet. It hasn't been as natural of them being best friends as, say, the Doctor and Amy or the Doctor and Donna, that sort of thing.
I don't have that context to compare it to, but I think as a new viewer to this season, that I was willing to let that line slide based on the last several episodes as something that I think honestly from what was 76 yards, it was episode 4.
Yes.
From that moment on, I thought there was a lot of off-screen happening between the Doctor and Ruby.
I thought we just got it all.
Very well
out
could
in
be.
episode 2.
No, because Ruby mentions in that episode, like, I've been through a lot, and he's been my friend through all of this. Um, kind of giving more weight to their relationship than I think the on-screen showing.
But to me, it definitely felt more of a tell, don't show sort of thing.
Yeah, I think it's definitely tell, don't show.
So we get the Doctor offering Rogue to travel with him, and Rogue offers the same to the Doctor. They almost kiss, but the trap beeps that it's ready and interrupts them. And we cut back to the party. Ruby and the Doctor find each other, and they each tell each other about the threat, and then they realize, oh, you already know. Ruby asks why they're killing, and the Doctor understands that it's a type of cosplay. We get the third Bridgerton name drop. We find that scandal, outrage, and plot twists attract the Childers. Rogue and the Doctor dance because it's scandalous. Rogue doesn't understand why, and then the Doctor's like, you didn't study this time period very well, did you?
Yeah, he has to actually impress upon Rogue that it's scandalous to do this.
So we get the fourth Bridgerton name drop in the same scene that we got the third.
Really, it's so Bridgerton.
Hammering home now. But that is the last one of the episode, I believe.
Turns out there's 6 more.
As they dance, the dance floor clears, and the Doctor and Rogue have a pretend fight to lure the Childers. We also get a lighting change similar to the one we got in Devil's Court. They have a pretend fight. And yeah, Rogue gets down on one knee as if he's proposing.
Boom.
Offers a
Just
ring.
like River.
The Doctor doesn't quite know how to respond here, but he does take the ring. Doctor says he can't and walks off. Ring. We'll get a close-up on there. Just.
Is that a noose?
I don't know.
No.
But I think we'll see that symbol again over the next couple of seasons.
Yeah.
Because I think that is the boss's symbol.
They do pay a lot of homage to it, plus the later bits of this episode.
I was going to say the final scene is just the ring itself again.
Yeah.
So the Childers cannot resist, and they follow. And they transform into their bird forms. And we find out that it is a whole Childer family. Right. And right now, we think that it's only 4. Spoiler, it isn't.
God damn, did I hate like the penguin one?
That was my favorite.
This one I hated the most.
He looks so different.
It's just so bad.
So we found out it's a whole Childer family. Rogue grabs the Doctor's hand and they run. We get Rogue saying run. And yeah, the Doctor's like, that's my line. That was a little fun. They try to avoid the Childers. And one thing I noted here in my notes, I do like how each Childer looks different. So often we get an enemy or an alien race, and they all look the same.
Yeah.
The Daleks all look the same. The Cybermen all look the same.
Yeah.
Angels
what are those lizard? What are those lizard people called?
Wow.
Madame Vastra's one. And I can't think of her.
Give me one moment.
Not the Sea Devils, but the Sea Devils all look the same too.
Silurians.
Silurians, yes. They all look the same. Except for Madame Vastra. She's the only one that looks different. So, the Childers then search for the Doctor and Rogue, who are hiding in a nearby coach. Oh yeah, I just wanted to show off the various differences in their looks. They're hiding in a coach. we find their plan is to, there's going to be a wedding. Their plan is to cosplay London, then Parliament, then royalty, and then start wars with the French and cosplay the planet to death. I don't like the fact that an alien race is using the term cosplay, because I don't even like the term cosplay. And it's like, they wouldn't have that term. They would have something else.
They would have something else. I was fine with
feather play.
Yeah, cosplay itself is fine, but the fact that they were using it was weird.
It took me out of the moment for sure.
I think it's just because the doctor said it earlier, so they picked up the line.
And then they would have been far more alarmed with his presence. I don't buy that.
No, it's fine.
So the doctor then sonics the trap to make it hold a maximum of 6. He was only going to do 4. And then Rogue kind of...
There might be more than 4.
Yeah, Rogue says, there might be more than 4. Okay, we'll do 6. So they only have 1 try. Ruby and Emily talk. Ruby explains who she is and how she's from the future. And Emily reveals herself to be a Chulder and tries to take Ruby's body.
Far too trusting.
So we cut to the wedding. The doctor overlooks the gathering. The Chulders enter out of costume and scare everybody. The doctor doesn't know where Ruby is. And Rogue explains how the Chulders will slaughter everyone as they leave no witnesses.
Right.
And the Chulders seem to have gotten Ruby as she walks in. We're all thinking that, yeah, she's a Chulder because she's doing the neck cracking thing and
makes the noise.
And the doctor's heartbroken. We get a flashback.
I think we honestly get a glimpse into the fact that the doctor wasn't. I don't know if heartbroken was really the word I would have used. I would have used the word vengeful.
Oh, we'll get to that. He wasn't there quite yet.
Yeah, he wasn't like at the level of 10th Doctor. And then he went to the level of 10th Doctor.
The Time Lord Victorious?
Yeah.
That was a fun arc that went nowhere, surprisingly.
You'll also have to remember my context level.
Yes.
He didn't turn him into scarecrows, that's for sure.
I think if he had not been given the out of Ruby saying, "Hey, it's me," which is going to come up here in a moment, I'm pretty sure the doctor would have nuked everybody.
So
I don't trust this doctor to not be fucking savage.
We get a flashback to Ruby's mom asking the doctor to keep Ruby safe. And
that's when
he promises. The doctor cries and the wedding continues. The vicar steps.
Literally every single episode we've had a doctor crying moment.
Yes.
Without exception.
The vicar steps forward and he says he can't sanction wedlock for creatures from hell. So Penguin Man takes him over.
Did he cry in 76 yards?
I don't think he did.
No, actually, you're right. I don't think he did either.
And then we cut back.
Right off screen.
We cut back, and the doctor asks how long they live for, and he says they've got a lifespan of about 600 years. And the doctor says, good. It's a long time to suffer. And that flashed me back to Human Nature, the Family of Blood, which you referenced just a moment ago.
Yeah. Once he said that, I was like, oh, shit.
And we're not going to explain it.
Where I felt like he would be very vengeful.
We're not going to explain it to Alex because that is one of the ones we are going to watch and review later.
It's so good.
I have it on the list already. It's one of the best. It's the best. It's real good. The book's really good too. If anyone out there wants to read it, I highly recommend it. It's much darker and bloodier than the show.
I can't read the book.
It's good.
He will listen to the book.
The wedding ceremony begins.
He knows me.
I don't think there are any audiobooks for the Virgin New Adventures.
Man, there might. Hey, you don't know in the era of LLMs, There's an audiobook for that.
You know how much shit we found on YouTube?
Oh, dude. Yeah. We'll get back to it.
As the wedding ceremony begins, the doctor bursts in and objects to the wedding. The Childers
Are you at that point yet?
realize he's not human.
We didn't give that option.
The doctor taunts them and places the transport gate on the floor.
I really like
And
the snow owl.
another great phase this episode.
Can I do that?
Yeah, he kind of taunts them a little bit, and he traps them.
Has this actor been in anything else?
Shooty Gatwa? Yeah, he was in Sex Education. He was in the Barbie movie as well.
Was he?
I didn't see it, but at this point, like,
He played one of the Kens.
I really love his acting. I would watch him in basically anything at this point.
We get a countdown. It says 80 Vexels, I think it was. And
Which Vexel's like 2.5 seconds.
something about the same as a rel.
Sure.
That's the Dalek second.
Okay.
So we then get Ruby admitting that she is not a Childer and she cosplayed them. Cut
How
back.
did you do the noise?
Don't know.
Well, you have to. Yeah, this flashback was awesome.
We get a flashback to her using battle mode. We knew that would come in at some point.
Don't Chekhov's gun me, and expect me not to use the gun.
Exactly.
Okay, when I heard him say like don't enter battle mode, I was thinking of fucking like insta kill mode from Spider-Man No Way Home and all that.
Far From Home.
Yeah,
So
where he just starts going wild, and she's just like, "I'm gonna dance."
if you say battle mode in the first act, it has to be used in the third. It has to.
Exactly. See, Scott has it, and also when it's all relative. At this point, it's Krav Maga. Okay.
That's not Krav Maga.
It wasn't, but it was still keep your host safe through dance martial arts.
We also, the backing track to this scene is an orchestral cover of Poker Face by Lady Gaga.
But this was also instigated by a reference to like keeping a poker face.
Yeah. It's
So,
very
like,
Bridgerton.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it, but I've heard enough about how the music works in that I get it.
I haven't either, so
Oh, that's what it was called. I could have used that as a joke earlier. I ruined it. Let's go on.
now I need to know what this reference is.
So we flash to the future again.
Magua. The fatty duck liver.
Foie gras.
Yeah, foie
Foie gras.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
That would have been forced. I'm glad that you didn't make that joke, and now
You
that
just
we're calling
did.
it out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's funnier if I explain it the way I just did.
I
And
love it.
saying all the words incorrectly as that as well. And then
This
you
is
guys
a
have to jump in to explain my joke. Makes
So-
it way funnier.
So for the audience at home, this is a joke for me and me alone, and I love every minute of it.
Emily bursts in and
Balls got cut
she
out.
tries to go towards the doctor. The doctor tries to turn off the transport gate and can't. And
Just we're gonna ignore the Daffy Duck-esque Bill on the other side now.
yeah, I did like that. I didn't catch it the first watch through, but I did catch it the second time that her beak is bent from Ruby.
I said it all. That's fantastic.
So, yeah, Emily goes towards the doctor. Rogue grabs Emily and puts her on the gate. And
No. You are totally missing like the climax of the literal episode here. Like,
not yet.
okay.
No, go ahead. Explain, please.
No, I was just saying, like, the Rogue pushes her on after the emotional scene where they actually do kiss.
Not yet. They haven't kissed yet.
No?
Not yet.
Okay, go ahead.
These images are all in order, I guarantee you.
All right, my bad.
So,
Mom and Dad are fighting.
No, we're not fighting. We love you.
Rogue puts Emily on the gate, and the
He
doctor
loves
can't send them because it'll send Ruby. Rogue tries to convince the doctor. The doctor really doesn't want to make this choice. Doesn't want to have to make this decision. And he cries and says he can't sacrifice his companion to save the world. Another face.
Oh my God. What amazing
So many-
skills you got this week. Holy crap, dude.
So
He
many
was an
faces this
ugly
week.
crier here. Like, good God, was
So
he
many.
an ugly crier here?
He's a fantastic actor. That showed
Dude, his facial emotions are top tier.
absolutely.
Yeah, I think honestly, I like how much of a body actor he is too. Like I'm really everything set aside, I love the acting in this season.
So Rogue comes over and he wipes away the tear, says he knows, and then, am I not zoomed out far enough?
No,
Crying.
Where
And then they kiss.
he whispers, "You're my little river."
No, she's not coming back. Let it go.
What?
River's never coming back.
You're my little river. Now sing me a song.
Rogue steals the remote and he
You know
swaps
what?
places with Ruby.
I just gotta say, Scott, it's a real shame. I guess I just don't know how to say it. It's a real shame that this doctor's real woke.
I'm so glad you're being sarcastic because
it's such a problem, and it really ruined the moment. I did like
Alex.
we didn't have to have a kissing scene and
Alex.
all of the fucking
Alex. They have to be awake to act.
look,
You fucking stupid.
I'm just
You fucking
glad that they
stupid.
pulled the trigger this time because they teased it between Yaz and the 13th Doctor for so long, and there was no fucking payoff.
Oh,
and
they
they
didn't
pulled the trigger here.
No, they set it up. They pulled the trigger. You got the payoff. And then you also we'll get to it here in a moment. But you also got like the wanting more aspect of it. I thought this was wonderful.
Well, yeah, they're
Everybody's
reconnecting.
fucking allowed to be happy, man. Like just let people be happy. I like a good story that lets you be happy.
And I hate
But
the
also,
fact.
they're already married.
So, what sucks?
They're engaged, you bigot.
No, married. River. Reincarnation of River.
Josh, I'm gonna need you to shut the fuck up. So,
Yes, sir.
anyway, the bad part is because of this, the bigots are coming out of the woodwork and review bombing Doctor Who.
Oh, give me a fucking break, dude.
Mhm.
I'm so
Its
over
audience score for this season has now gone from, I want to say, in the 8s down to the 6s, and it's
dude.
it's so
like, if
fucking.
anybody.
It's during Pride Month too. Like, let people be happy. Let people like what they like. What is
Oh,
it?
that's
harming
why
you?
they shouldn't be doing it, because they're obviously doing it because they're private. No, like if anybody couldn't tell earlier, and Scott called it out, like I was being incredibly sarcastic. This is nonsense.
Wait, what?
This is little. Fuck you, Josh.
The Doctor could be a man or a woman.
Fuck
So
you.
they're-
I don't.
they're
give a shit. I
pansexual.
want people to be happy. Like I would love to be as happy as he is in those moments. And I, it doesn't matter if you're heterosexual or pan. Like honestly, like if you were a pan-galactic, multi-dimensional, everlasting being, what the fuck does homosexual or heterosexual mean to you? Like the closest thing that we'd ever have to something that the Doctor could identify with is pansexual. Like there's not like he's a shapeshifter. We've established that in this episode, and many decades before. This isn't the new era of the woke Doctor. this isn't new. I'm new to Doctor Who more than the concept of being other than heterosexual is to the Doctor. I don't.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but like have they in the past like said that he's had multiple partners, men and women?
No.
I'm just hooked up on River Song because I love River Song.
Okay, yeah, River Song would be
matter?
his second partner that is canonical.
Would you consider Rogue a partner?
At this point, yes.
Yeah, 100%.
A partner. I think
They're
has
engaged.
a higher level of. Okay, you know what? All right, I'm yeah, totally.
Rogue swaps
and
places
I
with
love it.
Ruby and transports them, and he says,
nonsense.
"Find me."
I
and
love
they've-
that. I love that bit. That was very. I love you. I know.
Yes, very Han Solo.
I loved how Han Solo the find me was. I'm sitting there going like, okay. I've heard from Scott that a lot of the character for Doctor Who, a lot of the charm, the interest is in the companions, right, Scott?
Yes.
See,
I was in sheer panic mode when I thought that they were going to onboard anybody, literally anybody from last week's episode. But if we spend the next 3 episodes finding Rogue,
oh no, it'll be season 2.
At
I
least.
don't care. I don't
At
care.
least
Josh.
season 2.
I don't care. I want to find Rogue now.
Oh, I'm sure
All I'm
he'll be
saying,
back.
if I was in Rogue's
I
place
want to
right
find
there,
him. He told me to find him.
if I was in Rogue's place right there, it's just knowing that the Doctor changed everything already when I was falling, I'd be like, oh shit, the fuck.
The Doctor
Really
he
fuck
didn't-
with them.
But he didn't know. I don't think that Rogue understands what a Time Lord is per se.
probably not.
No one does. I think
The
that's kind of
Doctor-
the charm of
I don't
the
think
whole
the Doctor
show, right?
understands.
The Doctor is shocked about Rogue's decision, and
I kind of thought it was. I thought it was cheeky and adorable as fuck that when Rogue goes in and pushes Ruby off of the plate. I don't know where the bouquet came from,
it was from the wedding.
but the fact that he's
It was from the wedding. It dropped on the floor, and he picked it up.
Well, that he just like looks at it and goes, "Huh, all right, here you go,"
Okay.
and throws it to the
Also,
Doctor.
I
I
don't
thought
think
that
they
was-
tried hard enough.
What do you mean?
So Rogue was clearly able to like manipulate it, throw Ruby out, throw himself and the other one in. Couldn't they have just reached in or
I
grabbed?
think it only glued their feet.
It's a matter transference. It holds 6 people. It has, if there's 6 people on there, adding a 7th, you'd have to take 1 off.
Yeah, but
I
like
think it
grab a
only glued
rope
their
and
feet, right?
toss it on them and pull them out or
That's-
something.
Not how that works.
Well, then how did Rogue push Ruby out?
Because he stepped on it, and that broke the field for a second, and he pushed her off. From how I
Could
understand it.
he? Okay.
So couldn't they
We-
just step on the field, pull all at once?
I don't know.
Flaws.
But he made the decision quick enough that it didn't matter.
For the sake of the narrative, Rogue made the heroic sacrifice to save.
Oh shit! I
someone.
forgot. Rogue also had the clicker. Never mind.
Yep.
I
So
forgot that.
Yeah.
they walk out. The Doctor and Ruby walk off. The Doctor sends Rogue's ship into orbit. The Doctor explains how.
Okay,
Yes?
go ahead. I'm sorry.
The Doctor explains how he will likely never be able to find the dimension, and he doesn't even know Rogue's real name.
Yeah. So shut the hell up.
It's River Jack.
It's not. Also, Scott, can I ask a question here?
Yes.
This is gonna sound real shitty, but like, is this a new thing for the Doctor? Like, I would think this can't be a new thing for the Doctor to be gay coded, but like, I know how many people have been upset about this this Doctor Who season, but like, I actually really enjoyed this episode. I happen to not be gay. I thought that this episode was wholesome and wonderful, and I wanted to see more of this thing. I don't give a shit about his sexuality. Like I said before, I think that it makes so much more sense that the Doctor is pansexual and is attracted to entities rather than a gender or a gender profile.
So in classic Doctor Who, the Doctor was not coded as a sexual being at all. They're just the Doctor. They're just having fun going throughout the universe. With the 8th Doctor, that changed because he kissed, I can't think of her name at the moment, but his companion for the movie. I can tell you the actress's name. It was Daphne Ashbrook, but I can't think of her character's name.
But it was part of the movie, but it was heterosexually coded.
Yes, and then the
what
9th
era,
Doctor.
What era was that? The 70s, 80s, 90s?
That was 1996.
96. Okay.
And that was the American-made Doctor Who movie. They were the ones that made that decision.
Did they have the whole production from the series, like the actors and everything?
They had the 7th Doctor reprise his role to come in and regenerate and pass it on to the 8th Doctor. So the 9th Doctor, when he came back, he wasn't really coded as a sexual character either. But then the 10th Doctor, him and Rose fell in love. And
Grace.
What?
Grace, that was her name.
Grace, thank you. Grace Holloway. Anyway, 10th Doctor and Rose fell in love. He lost Rose. And then he didn't really have much in the way of a love life again until the 13th Doctor, who was gay coded, but they again never pulled the trigger.
What do you mean by pulled the trigger?
So it was a whole sort of a tension between the 13th Doctor and Yaz, and at the end of
like a will they won't they kind of thing.
Well,
kind of like it was Yaz kind of pining for the Doctor, and the Doctor giving occasional hints that she may have felt something, but the 13th Doctor was very, I don't know the word I want to use for that, but she didn't really want to form relationships in general. She wasn't good at
that was
talking personal things. Yes. And
well,
at the end, what's that?
I was gonna say he kissed Jack before.
He has kissed Jack, yes.
Who?
Jack Harkness. Was it the 9th Doctor? Yeah.
9th Doctor, yeah.
9th Doctor, yeah.
Like it was quick, but it was a kiss.
Yeah, it was just a peck.
Yeah,
but
like,
at the end of
problem there.
At the end of the 13th Doctor's tenure, Yaz kind of professes her love, and the Doctor's like, you know, I feel the same way, but I can't. And that was the end of it. That whole era of Doctor Who, I liked the 13th Doctor, but that whole era was weird. Just half-assed things that really didn't go anywhere. And yeah, I don't know how else to explain. It was just a weird era of Doctor Who. Let's get through the episode, and then we can discuss a little bit more.
Okay.
So, Ruby kind of comforts the Doctor. Doctor says they should move on. They kind of stare at the sky for a little bit. Doctor says, yeah, let's move on. That's who he is now. We're going to move on. We're not going to worry about this. Ruby hugs the Doctor. And the Doctor then looks at the ring. I want to know what these symbols on his fingernails are.
Okay,
I didn't see those.
I saw those a
wicked
couple.
cool.
He's had them for a while. Like,
Can you
They're new.
Can you do tattoos underneath your fingernails? Is that
I don't
a thing?
know. I wouldn't think that you could.
well,
I
he's had
think
them
you
for a
prob-
couple
I think-
episodes.
I think if you honestly, like, this is me being a little bit morbid, but if you didn't have the fingernail in the way, there should be no reason why you couldn't.
You know how
tattoo-
tender that is?
Oh, don't. I'm
Ugh.
a chronic. I'm a nail biter, so you don't really have to tell me how sensitive that is.
Oh, I have to, because I have to be super careful with this finger since I chopped the tip off. Like the
Dude.
nail and the skin grew off so weird. So like if I clip, I'm clipping that skin now.
You're lucky that you can't see how bloody my fingers are.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
that's from
Mine aren't
chronic
great either.
guitar playing.
No, it's not though, man. I wish it was because of that. It's because I bite my nails. If I was a guitar player, we would be having a whole lot of other conversations.
We get a
I
nice
thought this was
close
really
look up of the
interesting.
ring.
Yeah, and they spend a good amount of attention to the ring too. Like, did you have any like go back to? Could you zoom back in on the symbol itself on the top? That looks maybe
Like a head?
Yeah. No. I thought in the beginning that it looked like a noose. I don't think that's even close to what it is.
It's a space baby head.
It looks
No.
kind of like
Oh,
an ancient hammer. Like where you put the hammer into the wood and then wrap a rope around it.
Yeah, I can see the wrapping
Yeah.
a rope around like the thing that's coming perpendicular to the bottom of the screen, but like it looks like there's two things, like something driven
Yeah.
into the side, right?
Like to me, this looks like a hammerhead. Like this is the back of the hammer, and this would be the part that you would actually hit. That's what it looks like to me.
Like a chisel.
But you really can't tell, unfortunately.
It's only in focus to show the importance of him putting it on his pinky finger.
Maybe we can get a better look here.
Oh, interesting.
Looks very different there.
It does.
Like it's ribbed, and then
This has to
looks-
be a clue to his name or his origin or his species or whatever Rogue is. And as we're all D&D fans and players, pretty
He's
cool.
working for Vecna.
No, I mean I thought it was pretty cool that we got that little D&D reference. Did you get your name from D&D? Roll an insight check. Again, I just that was super charming.
it was.
Yeah, I can't believe they referenced our old channel.
No,
The doctor salutes and walks off. And we get the trailer for the first part of the finale, which, as of recording, just dropped
I
a
did
couple of
see it.
hours ago, which we have yet to
What a-
watch.
What a twist.
is that Susan?
Yes, this is one of the many forms that she is going to take in this episode.
This
We
is
also-
this is the largest departure, though, right, Scott?
Yes, but we also get an explanation in the trailer that she doesn't know what's happening to her. We also get the fact that she is part of Triad Technology. She is the leader of Triad Technology. In fact, her name is Susan Triad. Now, S Triad.
Oh, no.
I mentioned this last
No.
episode that was
You
on
did. You literally did. You said that, and I was like, "Oh fuck, this
S Triad. So some people are speculating that it could be Sutek from Pyramids of Mars. I think that's highly unlikely. I don't think that's going to happen. But I think
You
that
had a
she
better
is-
explanation.
I think that she is the personality of the TARDIS, or part of the TARDIS. The TARDIS has been in a humanoid form before. And I think that when the TARDIS was split, comically, with a mallet, I
Yeah.
think that may have caused a ripple effect throughout time, and why it's still called Mavity instead of Gravity.
Oop, the
Because
goes Mavity. Oop,
we're
the
in
goes
some sort of a
Mavity.
closed time loop.
Was that an Eminem reference?
It was.
We won't find out until we see the episode. I am definitely going to be watching the episode tomorrow. I'm sure I'm going to have thoughts.
Also, if you look at the doctor's fingers, he's got multiple finger
Mhm.
tattoos. I just want to say.
Under the
So-
fingernails?
The reason that people are speculating
Oh.
that she might be,
That is cool as shit. If I have to figure out if that's a thing. I
think it's just
edgy.
for
That is
doctor.
edgy enough that might be my first tattoo.
I forget you don't have a tattoo.
I don't have a single tattoo on me.
I got 2 of them. I want more.
See, it's the weirdest thing for me, and this is aside from the point, but I admire tattoos so much. I admire them so much to the point where every tattoo that I've ever thought that I wanted, I've grown out of.
So my thought on the matter is that
I want at one, and this just before you get into that, I very much wanted like leg sleeves of like the light side and the dark side. Like I was gonna do like portraits and homages to the different caricatures, but then it was like at the time that I was doing it, the episode 8 and 9 were coming out, and 8 and 9 are terrible. 7, 8, and 9 are terrible.
My plan was if I ever get a tattoo, because of that massive fucking scar I have on my back, that goes directly like leading towards my ass. I'm either one gonna get a saber hilt right above it,
so you don't know about Josh's tramp stamp, then,
or I'm gonna have the Death Star printed right above it, and my scar is literally just the laser going to wreck my ass.
now with Susan's character, now
He's like, I gotta.
people
I
are
He's gotta get us
speculating
back on the tracks.
But yeah, we're at an hour and a half. This is by far our longest episode so far.
I thought this was a great episode. I'm sorry for the
we're fine. This has been a lot of fun. The reason that they think it might be Sutekh is because of Susan's character's name, Susan, and Triad Technologies. Sutekh.
Yeah.
That's reaching.
Right. So has Sutekh been a thing in prior Doctor Who, or is that
he
like,
has?
Where are you getting
that is from Pyramids of Mars, a 4th Doctor serial. A really good one, mind you.
But just one?
It would make sense in a way because he's part of he's considered a god. He could be part of the pantheon. It would kind of fit in, but I do think it's a huge reach.
Well, we thought that Ruby was a member of the pantheon that didn't realize that she was. We've come across that pretty much every time we've had these discussions, every week. And now we've gotten to the point where every time we see this character specifically, now the characters recognize it. They're, oh, do you know this person? Like we're talking to people in canon about what's her name?
Susan.
Try.
Yeah, Susan. So like that's like it's beyond the point. It's no longer throwaway lines.
So one thing I will say is that we have heard Triad Technologies before. It was kind of a throwaway line in the Toymaker episode.
Oh, I didn't see that one yet. I have yet to go back to, oh, that's all right then.
When they go into Unit HQ, there is a robot that is using Triad Technologies. It was kind of a throwaway line at that point. I'm like, I'm sure that'll be explained at some point. I think we're going to get that explanation in this episode coming.
Can you give me one of the Toymakers? Well, that's all right then.
What level? 1, 2, or 3?
3.
Oh, well, that's all right then.
Thank you.
So we'll have to wait and see.
Neil Patrick Harris. I love this. I want to say too. This episode was fantastic.
What do you rate it?
My favorite episode so far.
I would say that if I didn't love Maestro so damn much. I thought that whole episode, like the amount of scenery chewing that happened in that episode, still gets me. But this, if this is the kind of episode that Doctor Who is known for, Sign me up for more. I am a Doctor Who fan. I was really worried for a few episodes that I wasn't going to be able to be on board with with it. I wasn't really enjoying myself.
Oh, don't worry, we're going right back to that. No.
Well, here's the
No,
thing.
That's bullshit. That I didn't
know.
mean that. I didn't mean that in that way.
I know, I'm just fucking with you.
Sometimes
I
the first
realize-
few stories of a Doctor aren't great.
But I knew that I knew that a few of the episodes were though. This one was written by a different writer, a breath of fresh air, as you put it, but it was still produced by Russell T Davies. You know, I think there's still a lot of hope for this, and I really enjoyed this episode.
What do you rate it out of 10?
God, I think it was an 8.
Josh?
I was gonna give it my highest rating yet. 7.3.
I want to point out. I think I put episode 2 at an 8 as well.
I'm going to give it a 9. I didn't have really anything to complain about with it. Aside from the Childers using the term cosplay. That was my only complaint. I thought it was a very, very solid episode. I think it's going to age well, and I think it's going to be one of the more well-known episodes of this season. I think it's the one that people are going to go back to.
See, I think that I was able to let the cosplay reference go because they referenced the idea of cosplay before it was used elsewhere. And they kind of make reference to the fact that they're taking on this person's essence, and they also like are able to take on their memories. So if you had invaded the minds of several humans, you'd understand the idea of cosplay.
Yeah.
But maybe not in the 1800s.
Yeah, probably not.
So,
but overall,
I'm definitely with you on there. I think that. So if I was gonna give Maestro a 9 out of 10, I'd give this an 8.5. But this was definitely, if I was gonna bring someone into New Who, I'd say Maestro in this episode would be where I'd start. I thought this was really good.
Yeah, this definitely felt like classic New Who.
Classic New Who.
And that's good. And that's good to hear because I don't have any context for that.
We'll get you there.
And if there's more like this, I enjoy it. Like you don't have to make it this grand chess game. You just have to make it interesting. Monster of the week.
Well, we have 2 more weeks, and then we start going through the best of New Who, the worst of New Who, and then some classic. Just be prepared. Some of those classic arcs go for a few episodes.
So, Scott,
some of them are really good.
Where does my favorite episode fit?
Are you talking the one with the big speech?
Yes, with the speech.
I don't know if I have that on my list yet. No, I definitely do. I definitely do. Hold on.
Fucking joking.
I definitely do. Let me find out
if there was, and this is a teaser for anybody watching this now. But Scott knows exactly the reason why I'm interested in Doctor Who, and it's literally.
I'm gonna have to cut that out.
Huh?
I'm gonna have to cut that out. I just showed our recording schedule on there.
Okay.
I'll censor it.
I thought it was something I said. I was like, what did I say?
Q Alex, you piece of shit.
It's a couple months from now, but we will get there.
But I was gonna say there's one episode of the 10th Doctor, 11th.
Well, who are you referring to? What's the name?
What episode?
I don't know, man.
What's it about?
What's he look like? Clothes wise, describe the clothes. Trench coat, sneakers, or bow tie?
He's wearing very neutral clothing. An older man. The whole scene revolves around two factions having a button in front of them.
Oh, that's the 12th Doctor. Yeah, that's the Zygon Invasion and the Zygon Inversion. It's 2 episodes.
Yes. Okay. It's the finale. It's the second episode of the finale, right?
I think no. I think that was in the middle of a season. Yeah,
But
that was in the middle
that-
of the season. That season was so fucking good. That whole season,
Are you serious?
with the exception of Hellbent, that was, I think, the weakest episode of the season was the finale. Really, really good.
It was great, except for all the bad stuff.
Yeah.
Well, no, that's not what I meant. I think that is one of the reasons why I even wanted to watch Doctor Who ever. Scott showed me that scene from the 13th Doctor, because for anybody who might be watching this in archive, I've been a long anti-war activist. That scene encapsulates what I think of war more than I think any other piece of media that I've ever seen. And one of the reasons why I very much respect Doctor Who.
Well, we will get there. Like I said, it's gonna be about 2 months. 2 months and a couple days.
Looking
So,
forward.
We'll get there.
Also,
We have some stuff
really
to get
happy
through.
with- Yeah, I'm also really happy with where we are now with Doctor Who as well. It's just so shitty to think of it. Before this episode, people were complaining about this Doctor Who being woke. Now
Yes.
what, bitch?
Yeah, lean into the
Now
skid.
what? Now what, bitch?
With
Fuck
that,
you.
with that, I think we'll go ahead and call an end to this podcast for this evening. We'll be back next week
Go bother someone else.
with the Legend of Ruby Sunday.
Hell yeah! I'm so looking forward to this.
Oh yeah, it's
It's gonna be
going
great.
to be interesting. I can't wait to find out. Like I said, it's out right now and it's nail biting. Just wanting to watch it, but I'll watch it tomorrow. And
we might have to record early.
maybe if we can swing Wednesday, I would be happy to swing Wednesday.
Check out our Twitch for more.
But we'll see y'all later. Thank you guys for joining me this evening, and thank you all for listening to us. Make sure, if you haven't, that you check us out on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, and a ton of other places. Check out our Patreon if you want to join our Discord. We have a special members-only section. And once we finish with this season, so 2 more of these video ones are going to be going on to YouTube for free. After that, the video podcasts will be available to patrons only. So make sure you check that out. Links will be in the video description or in the audio description if you're listening on Spotify or any of those other ones I already said. So
Otherwise, we'll see you where great podcasts are sold.
have a good one, y'all. Bye.